Hi, I'm Andy, a collection specialist at Credit Sage, and my goal is to help people learn how they can remove AR resources from their credit report. And actually, this is in many cases without paying the debt at all. So if that's you, or even if it's somebody that you know, I'm confident that you're going to walk away from this video knowing what the next best step is to take. Now, I want to start by saying that this doesn't mean that you shouldn't take action. For example, if you know or you believe that AR resources or, any of the accounts on your credit report are the result of identity theft or have a wrong balance after you've already paid or, any major issues that are really affecting your life, you may be owed a settlement. Now, we work with a network of local attorneys that can work on your behalf at zero cost, win or lose, in addition to getting the accounts deleted permanently. But if no issues like that exist and you just want the account removed from your credit report, we can certainly help with that too. Just give us a call today. Our number is in the description below, so you can find that easily. But what I want to do in this video is I want to go through and talk about the most important questions that we get about this company and hopefully answer many of yours as well, okay? And the first one I think is really important. We get this all the time, and that is, can you be arrested or get jail time for a debt with AR resources? Now, I put this one at the top of the list because we have a lot of callers that are terrified that this could happen. And I feel bad because it makes sense. Few people are actually taught how credit and debt work in school. Myself included, I didn't know the answer to this question until I got into the business. And fortunately, unless the debt is related to specifically unpaid taxes or unpaid child support, you cannot be arrested or get jail time. So you don't need to worry about that whatsoever. Along those lines, the amount of the debt doesn't matter either. Okay, you could refuse to pay $1,000 or $1 million. It doesn't matter. You will not be arrested or get jail time. Okay, so who is AR Resources and why are you seeing them on your credit report? So they're referred to as a debt collector or credit collection agency, depending on where you look. And they buy debts, unpaid accounts, like credit cards, for example, often for very cheap. And then they try to collect the full amount, okay? For example, let's imagine for a moment that for whatever reason, you have an unpaid card with Capital One, okay? And let's say that it's $1,000. AR Resources could, in theory, come along and buy that debt, but maybe just for $100. Now, they don't try to collect that amount. They try to collect the full $1,000 from you, which gives them a 10x return on their investment. Okay, so think about it. That these companies can make a lot of money, and damaging your credit score by reporting the debt to your credit report is one of the primary strategies they have to get you to pay. However, once again, something that not a lot of people know is that even if you pay the debt on your credit report, that does not remove the account attached to it. That account will stay there for 7 years, damaging your score, paid or not. So a lot of time, paying isn't in your best interest, and it could just be a waste of money. In rare cases, paying a debt can even hurt your score further. Now, in addition to credit reporting, they may send scary letters. They may call a lot, even calling your family members and colleagues. And I'll say if a collector has ever threatened you or harassed you during non-business hours, you again may be owed a lawsuit. So that's another case. You want to give us a call so we can connect you with a local specialist that will take action quickly. Should you negotiate a settlement with AR Resources? Well, settling your debt with AR Resources, I always say depends on your goal. Typically, if you are wanting to improve your credit score, paying isn't the best option. Now, the reason for that is, like I mentioned before, even if you pay that collection, it will remain on your credit report for 7 years. And that whole time, it's just going to continue to damage your credit score. So that's not the best option. Instead, we always recommend working with an expert like us to review these accounts, okay? And And if certain issues exist, then the accounts may be removed. And this is a win-win. You won't have to waste money paying a debt that won't help your score. And the negative account gets removed from your report. Perfect. So how do you remove AR resources from your credit report, right? Well, it works like this. The Fair Credit Reporting Act gives every person the power to challenge information on their report, okay? I will say that the knowledge required to do this is a bit more involved than it might seem, but that's not to say that you shouldn't learn how to do it. Just be prepared to spend weeks, maybe months, learning how to do it properly. However, if you hire a professional to handle it for you, you can ensure that it's going to be done properly the first time, and you can save that extra time that you put into it, and we're happy to take care of it. You know, we've dealt with AR resources accounts many times, and they regularly have issues, and we've helped numerous clients deal with them, and we'll take care of it for you as well if you prefer. How can you get AR resources to stop calling you? So yeah, as I mentioned before, AR resources will be calling you. It's their attempt to collect the debt they purchased, which really means that the only reason they'll stop calling you is if you settle your debt with them, or you work with a company like ours to potentially have them removed from your report altogether. Will AR resources try suing or garnishing my wages? So this is another question we get asked pretty often, and I'll put it this way: AR resources suing is unlikely. It can and does happen, but in our experience, it's rare. And the reason for that is because there's just a lot of laws around how long they can sue for, what they can do if they win, and it's a long process. However, if we're able to find certain issues with the account, they won't be able to collect it all, which is another benefit of using an expert. What are my rights when dealing with AR resources? Well, you have the right to dispute any of your debt that AR Resources has purchased. AR Resources is governed by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, or FDCPA. And as I mentioned before, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or FCRA. Now, these acts can seem very complicated, but really they provide a great deal of power to the consumer if you know how to use it properly. Now, if you don't have time to research these acts, it's not a problem. Call us today. We can discuss your options. Our number is in the description, like I mentioned. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day.